Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Talk of the Town, a podcast dedicated to everything Exmouth Town Football Club. Just in case you didn't know, um, we're staying up. Don't know if you know,
There we
Nathan,
are.
but we're staying up. The Great
Yes.
Escape did happen.
The Great Escape completed with t-shirts to go with it. So yeah, really, what an incredible time it's been since we were last here. We was hopeful, but now it's actually happened and the prophecy has been fulfilled. So yeah, really happy.
I kept saying on these podcasts and to everybody, brighter days around the corner. There's never a dull moment. And it got to the point where I didn't know if I was saying these things to convince myself or other people. And yeah, what a emotional roller coaster it's been. We'll get to that in a minute. There's loads of news as always. Just because the football's finished, there's always stuff going on at our little club, as we all know. Presentation night is on this Friday, and the date has
Yeah.
escaped me. The
26th.
26th at 7 o'clock, I
Around
want to say.
seven. Yeah, it's around seven.
On 7. There is a fee for it. If you want to go speak to Elaine, it's on the socials and the MTC and the Facebook and everything. There's a hog roast, there's some bands, and then all the
Hog roast
players.
live music. Yeah.
Yeah, there's obviously the presentation of the players' awards. There's always the players come up and say some bits, and Hilly tell some stories and
Yeah, we had like
stuff.
last year we had King Charles there, so I don't know if they are doing that again, but we pulled out all the stops last time, so yeah, hopefully it'll be just as good this year. And obviously, it's a nice evening to sort of reward the players and the volunteers, especially, and all the things that happen around the club, as well as some good food and some live music as well. So it will be a good night. Unfortunately, I can't make it, but I know Egg will be there. So if you can't make it and you want to see who won the awards, it will be all on our Twitter feed. And yeah, but if you can make it, I recommend going because it's always a good night to celebrate what was turned into a successful season.
Yeah, Nathan is off traveling to far-flung locations yet again. It's become our standard joke now. But yeah, I am going. I'm going to come and take some pictures. If you see me, come say hi. I'll probably be the most sober person in the building, knowing what town's like. The MTC had the AGM on Saturday. That is going up somewhere. I remember Bill saying that. We have got an interview with Bill in a minute. Please join the MTC. I know during it he said there's over 100 members, but there's over 500 people on the Facebook group. So if you're watching this or listening to it and you're not a member, please join because every penny they make goes back into all their projects, which helps the club, which in turn helps you as a supporter, which helps the players, which helps the club grow, and it's just a never-ending cycle. I'm a member. I've got a little one
I've
as a
recently
member.
joined. I've
Nathan also
recently joined as
joined.
well. So.
He's got a pink hoodie now
Yes,
to show the
commemorate it.
world.
Yes.
There's a few other people as well that I know were on the day on Saturday. We're all about joining, so please do. There's loads of benefits and stuff outside the club as well, like free discounts and stuff, and you get discount on the MTC shop. If you don't know how to join, message Cookie, Bill, or just on the MTC group, and someone will point you in the right direction. The FA Cup final, is it kickoff 3 o'clock? I think it was. I've seen
I
today.
believe so. Yeah, 3 o'clock. Yeah.
Kickoff at 3 o'clock. There is loads of stuff happening at the club. I think there's a barbecue. There's a Skittles tournament. The clubhouse is open. Hopefully, it's going to be a nice day. I think they'll probably have the beer garden open. I'm going to come down with the family, potentially, and watch two teams I really don't like play a football match. That's an excuse to sit in the sun and see some friends and have a few beers. Nathan, which country are you going to be in that weekend? Have you decided, Bob?
well, last year I was at the final, so maybe this year I'll be back at Wembley. But this year, I mean, hopefully it's a decent. Hopefully it's a better game than what it was last year, more competitive. We've got all hope for.
The yin and yang of this media team is unreal, isn't it? Like all the riches get to go to all these places and do these things. And anyway, move on from that. There's also a load of live bands going on throughout the summer.
Yeah.
I don't know if dates have been confirmed for all those, but as soon as they come out, we'll put them up on the socials for you guys as well. I think there's been some bands recently as well. So if you've got to support those events, thank you very much.
Yeah, there
Um,
was one on Saturday, Mantis, I think, and it's say we was always good to come down. It's social, obviously no football, so if you can come down and go watch some live music, it tends to be free events. I don't know if they're paid. Obviously, we'll tell you if they are, but it's a nice evening, a nice usually on a Saturday you can come down and have a few drinks, live music. What more do you want?
and I know in the past, in the summer, the beer garden has been open on Saturday afternoons and times,
Mm.
but Elaine puts on the Facebook group when they are open. I think that's all the news. Unless I've missed anything.
No,
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 that's
I think that's pretty much
magic. Michael Andricum did win Supporters Player of the Season. He's been presented with it at the
nice.
Melbourne game. I've
Yeah.
completely lost because he wasn't there on Saturday, so and he's not there for the award ceremony. So congratulations to Mike, Ethan, and who was the other player that
Oh, I can't. Yeah, I can't remember who was third, but yeah, Ethan was second. I think it might have been Chris. I think Chris Wright was third.
Chris Wright. Yeah, that's yeah. Uh, Chrissy Wright did also say he would give us an interview post match at the Poland game, and then unfortunately was unable to do that. But we'll come back to that later on.
Yeah.
That's all of the news. So we spoke to Bill, who is the chairman. Bill, if you're not the chairman, and I've just said you are the chairman, I apologise. Bill is one of the leading people in the MTC. We always have a little chat with him. We did one last year when we released this as a video. So Nathan caught up with him about all the work the MTC's done. So we'll hand over to Bill and Nathan.
So, Bill, we're here, end of the season or end of the home season at least. What's your thoughts first on this season, the Great Escape complete?
Well, we often hear the expression, it's a game of two halves. I think this year it's certainly been a season of two halves when we were pretty desperate for the first half of the season, and that seemed to carry on from the previous season. But the second half of the season has been absolutely tremendous, and many congratulations to everybody involved, not just the team, but the management team as well, the board themselves who've backed the team and got a few extra players in, and also, of course, volunteers and supporters and everyone. Really, it's been a tremendous second half of the season. Get some momentum going, it really does make a difference, I think.
And for the Supporters Trust, what has the season been like?
It's been a good season. We would have liked to have done more than we have. We've obviously done work on the roof of the patio, and we've put a lot of effort into freshening up the clubhouse. And I think if you just take a look in there, it's a lot better than it was. At the moment, we do have some funds that we want to invest in our next set of projects, but we're now sort of waiting on the club to let us know what their plans are. The last thing we can do is actually go ahead and do something which then it goes against whatever they're planning for the next year or so.
And we're here. We've got the AGM. Can you talk us through what that sort of is for anyone that perhaps hasn't heard that before?
Well, basically, obviously, we've got a committee, so it's about election of our officers, and it's really then from there on in a reflection on the previous year, and also to try and encourage people to stay with us. And but I think the biggest part is that reflection, because when you actually see it all on paper and everything, then you realise what a difference it does make. And I think it galvanises the support to a degree as well, makes people feel part of the club, and that's exactly what we want to do, really.
And the sign-up process, all available online?
All available online, yeah, mufftown.casuals.online. It's all available through that. We do now have a few membership forms on the club shop as well, if people want to do that. And the latest thing we've done is put little table stands out which have got QR codes that you can just take a photo and it'll just take you directly there as well.
And is that the sort of thing you're looking to do in terms of just even that little bit of sort of modernising and all of that, which helps everyone that's, even if I want to join that?
Absolutely, you've got to realise that young people today, they have certain ways of doing things which may differ from older people, and I think you've just got to cater for both and try and be as into all of those avenues, because otherwise you don't maximise what your capability is.
And what are some of the benefits of becoming a member of the Supporters Trust?
Well, I think the biggest thing is being part of something, really, but obviously you will get discounts on our club shop. Going forward, because we're taking a bit more of a hand in the away travel, we're hoping that we can actually give some discounts to that. And there will be a few places around the town whereby you can get some discounts as well.
Oh, nice. And just to go back to this season, is there a highlight game for you as a fan?
For me personally, I would say going to Bremerton. That was a fantastic game, and the atmosphere of supporters there was, unbelievable. Really, it was probably the most enjoyable game that I've been to all season.
And looking at your top, the Great Escape top, I mean, that just sums up this club, doesn't it? To have shirts like that made.
It started as a bit of a joke, we're playing a bit of the Great Escape music, and some of the doubters were saying, well, Steve McQueen never got over that fence. Well, Hilly has actually got over that fence this year, so it's worked. It was a bit of a joke, but it has actually worked.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Nath, you spoke to Bill on Saturday. What's obviously we see all the work the MTC do around the club. They're ever present at away games. What did you think from? I know we speak to Bill quite a lot, but
yeah, it was the way I would feel about the MTC now, and like especially since joining, it's if you can afford to do it, I do recommend doing it because it does give you benefits. You get a bit of discount on the club shop. You get some discounts around Exmouth, especially, which is helpful if you live around Exmouth. And if you I know times are tricky, but if you can afford to give £2 a month, it's a good cause. We all we all support this team now, and we want to see them grow. So the projects they do, it's such a help, and working with the club to do that, it's only going to benefit the same party. So it's great to have that. Obviously, I'm very impressed with the Great Escape T-shirts. I love them. Seeing them banded around at cribs as well, and yeah, so really pleased with that, and always good to catch up and give people an idea on how it's going and how to join. And I also get the feeling when I go to these other clubs, it always, and this is a bit separate to the interview but relevant to the point, I don't think there are many clubs like Exmouth. I think maybe Manor Farm might be sort of similar. I know that trip created a lot of discussion and references, but the atmosphere at Exmouth and the supporters, the unity within it, it's very different when you go to a lot of these clubs. With all respect to them, it's just not the same as Exmouth Town, and I don't think that comes from a place of bias. I think that comes from just seeing it and listening to people that don't. I've got a friend who's come along to a few games with me, and he's already got the bug for it, and he's come to quite a few more. So I think it's got a unique sort of magnetic energy at Exmouth, and I mean, I'm sort of preaching to the choir on Exmouth Town podcast, but it's a really great cause, and really just you run out of superlatives for the fan base, and especially the people that dedicate so much time and energy to helping the club.
As someone who's been at other clubs, either as a supporter, not coming from the area, and then obviously spending time at Tavistock, the MTC, the fans at the club is something that always crops up from the other side of the fence of how good it is, and something people always talk about. So I think it is a badge of honor and a badge of pride, and it's only come about because of all the hard work from everybody that's gone before me. Nathan still carrying on now. I came to my first town game in 2015 when I moved to Exeter. There was 50 people there, and they got battered 4-0 by Ash. And nearly 10 years on, look where we are now. So in 10 years' time, we could be sat here with an even bigger MTC, and we could be even bigger club. So we keep saying it, but if you can't get to every game, or you are unsure about coming to all the games, MTC is kind of that halfway house, so to speak. You can support the club and feel like you are contributing without having to come to every game, because everyone's circumstances are different. Also, working out, I was going to work the mileage out, but I think the MTC or the supporters club have ran a bus to every away game apart from 2 or 3 this season, haven't they? I think Tavistock they didn't, Willand they didn't, and there may be one more. That's league games and obviously cup games. So there's some of those guys have basically been to every game, missed 1 or 2. So if you think the mileage and everything that goes into putting those buses on for supporters as well. So thank you to all the guys from the MTC as well, from us as supporters and volunteers. You're amazing. You're always welcome to come on the pod. We might have to censor some of the things you say because They do. They do speak their mind, I think is the way to put it.
Yeah, no,
That's
but
enough of the MTC anyway. Other people that are incredibly important are the sponsors of the club as well. As a club, we can't be anywhere without sponsors when we haven't got somebody pumping money in. I know Stuart does
yeah,
everything as well and does contribute to the club and everything. So we can't be anywhere without sponsors. So we just want to thank Thrifty, especially me and Nath, because they sponsored the VEO and basically sponsored me and Nath this season. So thank you to those guys because you've helped the players, Hilly, Dave, Rolo with the VEO. They can kind of watch back highlights, they can watch games back, and they can obviously say to the players, "We need you to be doing X, Y, Z." There are some players I know instantly, as soon as the video goes up, are logging in to watch it. Me and Nath have been able to increase the exposure the club has. Really nerdly, when I looked at the analytics before the video, we were getting maybe 5 or 6 views a week. We're now getting a couple hundred a week just purely from the video. So thank you to Thrifty. You guys have been amazing for us. Search for local as well. Support the club. They're on our hoodies and everything. Thank you to you guys as well. All the match ball sponsors, game sponsors as well. We see you guys having a great time at games. So thank you for all of everything you've done for the club. Some of you guys are genuinely entertaining as well when you've turned up and you've had a couple of drinks. Really, really helped with the atmosphere, not taking the mic. Thank you to all you guys. Is there anybody else we've missed out? I think we've basically thanked everybody.
Swaz,
Swaz as well.
Swaz is the thing, yeah.
Thank you to Swaz as well for all the kit that you made the guys. There was one game where it was incredibly hot and I did wear some shorts and they're very comfortable. I would very much recommend buying some of the players' shorts. Not the players' shorts, buying them from Swaz. Wouldn't want to wear those shorts. I think I basically thanked everybody in the East Devon area now, haven't we? I don't think there's anybody else in the entire county we haven't thanked.
Well, also the volunteers at the club, I guess, as well. We've got to thank all of them, not just the sponsors. We did a post. We did a post for all those guys, and you know who you are. It's just an incredible. Again, we speak to Exmouth it not being like anywhere else, and that's only because of the absolute incredible effort and the volunteers go through, and they don't complain. They really are just. It's lovely, from Martin who welcomes you, and to the kitchen staff. I know it's not Kerry's kitchen. We had that problem in the MTC thing, but that everyone does such a fantastic job and provide great food for the players and for fans and just everyone, even the beer, the can hut at the end of the ground, and running the 50-50, everything. It's so appreciated, and it makes our experience incredible. And there's a reason we're getting very, very good gates. It's because people want to keep coming back, and that it probably at parts wasn't because of the football on the pitch, but the atmosphere off the pitch and the help that people seem to provide just because they love the club. So I'm probably not alone in saying this, and we're not alone in saying that it's really incredible. So we thank you again, and we'll keep thanking you until we stop doing this podcast, and then we'll thank you in real life as well. So we appreciate it.
We're potentially the only club that was bottom of the league with 6 points, and people are still turning up on a Saturday with a smile on their face. I said this when I joined the club, that it's an us and not a we at Exmouth. And it is at lots of other clubs as well. Don't take that as a dig to anybody else, but it is very much an us. Everybody's in it together at town. So thank you to you guys as well. Thank you to Martin, Joe, and all the car park guys for always trying to get me a space as close as possible to the ground. So I'm going to lug that tripod. Very much appreciated, because that thing is heavy. And also laughing at my parking occasionally as well and telling me my car's not very good. Going to get it fixed in the summer. There is one other person we need to thank as well, and that's Stuart, Mr. Chairman. Me and Nath do see him from games. We do speak to him, say hi, and we've also seen him behind the scenes throughout the season. Stuart has worked incredibly hard with Hilly, Rolo, and everybody at the club to kind of keep it going, I suppose, is the way everybody kind of works together. But Stuart, obviously the man at the top. We're hopefully going to have a chat with him at some point in the summer to find out what's going on with other things in the future of the club. There's nothing to worry about. Just obviously the club keeps pushing forward.
Yeah.
So thank you to Stuart as well for everything you've done for the club, Mr. Chairman. Might get told off for saying this, but around about December time, we were in the changing rooms, and it was after a defeat. We were chatting to Hilly and Rolo, and Stuart said, and I quote, "This club is not being relegated. So that was his determination along with everybody else's, and I know me and Nate fed off that determination. So thank you to Stuart as well, especially for putting that with me and Nate as well. Me, not Nate.
And I can add one more thank you to someone. I know we're thanking almost everybody associated in football.
It does sound like we're leaving the club, doesn't it? We're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
We haven't done this before, so we just want to thank everybody.
I just want to thank Jerry Hunt as well, who takes some photos. If any photo on the club website is him, he does an incredible job, not just us at Willand as well. And I think he goes to some other games. It was great to tell him to his face, how grateful we were on Saturday. But he's a lifesaver for this club. Like, for the photos he makes, we was scraping the barrel sometimes this season when some with all the pictures he'd taken from the Bideford game. So, and obviously he'd take a few pictures of players that had left. So we were sort of trading old ground. But he's such a really hopefully everyone can appreciate what he does, not just here but at Willand. And he's a fantastic photographer and a great help to us and to me especially, and to everyone. So I just want to put that appreciation out there.
Okay, so I think we've thanked everybody now, literally on the Facebook planet. Yeah, I can't think of anybody else to thank. Okay, so I suppose we probably should now hear from 3 other people that do matter at the football club: Hilly, Rolo, and Dave. We did speak to them after the Bolton game. I was looking at the sky because all the days are mashed together for me this week. So there's some highlights and their thoughts about the Bolton game, some stuff about the Mousel game, and then about the season in general. So we'll hand over to those 3 guys, Nate asking the questions and me trying to keep up with who was answering at which point. So yeah, enjoy.
Start with today's game, 2-1 defeat, not an ideal performance to end the home season, but what's your thoughts on that?
I'll be honest with you, typical end of season game. Allowed to say, and I know, flat all over. We turned up, but it wasn't in the right frame of mind. I'll be totally honest. All right. You sat there now thinking you go 1 up. Obviously they've been struggling. I knew they were struggling for the side today, and like I said to them at half time as well, I saw it coming. Yes, keep trying to prevent it, but that performance today was what got me the 6 points up until December, and that's why we were struggling, because they were chucking in performances like that. All right, and I'll be honest with you, Dave's come in, shaped their own face in, brought through, added a few things, got us up the league and helped us out. But today, generally, wasn't acceptable. But I don't know, you boys feel, I am angry, but we're safe. Right? They got us safe, and we were safe for two weeks ago, realistically. All right, so from where they worked wonders. I'll give them credit that, but don't stop there, guys. You got to finish the season on a high, get some buzz. Look, it'll still be a great night. Look how flat it goes if you lose. And I'll be honest too, we play well, but look at themselves today.
And he's felt a bit similar to the reverse fixture 2-1 defeat there as well. Was that frustrating that it did feel like a sort of early season performance?
Very frustrating. They've come and done the double on us. We played some really good performances leading up to this game. So I think that really frustrates me that we just not turned up today. We've got the early goal. Go on lads, go and kick on, get the second, get the third, but we just stopped. And that's not been like us. Since Christmas we've been at it. We've been playing really, really well, and we're just really disappointed with the performance that we got today. But I suppose it's one of those that we've got nothing to play for, and it sort of showed through the team.
Dave, is that the most frustrating aspect, to have such a great escape and to not be able to round in front of our home fans with a great performance?
Yeah, I think it started last Saturday at Cribs. First 45 minutes, you got them one at Westbury on the Tuesday, definitely safe, and then all of a sudden, that's it. Players stop. They know the job's done, and I think instead of carrying on trying to finish, maybe bottom 4 instead of bottom 2, we've taken our foot off the pedal, and and that maybe. It's not a good sign, because today, last home game of the season, we want to finish on a high. I feel we should have, if we had turned up like we had been the last 10 games at Cribs, we could have beaten Cribs and won today, and all of a sudden you're pushing on. But that was the mentality of the players. You've got to ask them the question: just because you're safe, have a bit of pride and finish the season on a high. And Saturday was probably, in my opinion, the worst performance since I've been here. I thought it was second half, especially, there was no desire. It's alright saying it's the last game of the season, sort of thing, and the season syndrome, but need more than that. After the season we've had, need more than that.
And to talk generally about this season, I mean, how would you sum it up, Kev? You know, the Great Escape, a real sort of roller coaster of emotions throughout.
Awful. Do I want to be where I was this side? Of course I don't. Realistically, it's been an awful season, really. Alright, it's been a slog through the thingy, but lads got back. They proved they could do it. We've gone toe to toe with a better side. They've got a lot of play, that's number one song. And it's, I'll say to the boys, and I'll say again, and I'll say to them in there, when you play at high level, you realise people's capabilities. Yeah. Some are at a level at that, and it shows, and we get by. But the last couple of weeks when we've been winning, they've not been. We've played decent football at times, but we've had the work ethic, we've had the old Exmouth back, we've had the old Ratton back, we've had the desire, and then the football flows. And once we break teams down and we're getting into them, and we're pressing and we're challenging, we've got willing runners. That's what, if my sides don't run anymore, or this side don't run, this side will struggle. That's all I'll say. But I'll give credit, guys. They dug themselves out, and like I said, Dave and Andy, especially Dave coming in, it's helped massively. And at the end of the day, it's kept us in it. And if any of them lads want to desire that next year, come back, whoever comes back and wants to give it a willing time, they've got to put a lot of graft in. Right? Been around the game long enough to know you don't just turn up that you're going to get through the motions and rely on your ability. You've got to work. And first and foremost in football, first and foremost you've got to work. If you can run and you're fit, we can teach you to do the things. You'll learn the basics. As you get older, you'll be wiser about the game and realise dropping in pockets, making runs, certain runs, yeah, we'll move. But when we've just got people that sometimes are massively unfit, and that's due to me, right? They've had it easy and Andy over the years. They've had it easy. All right, I think next year, to be fair, we'll do a culture shock.
Andy, what would you say the biggest lesson Exmouth have learned through this season, the second season in the Southern League has been?
You know, there's not an easy game. It's proved that today. You know, and if you're not at it every game, you're gonna come up short like we did today. But you know, to be fair to the lads, you know, we've touched on it. We were in a bad position up until Christmas. You know, and they responded. You know, we've gone on a bit of a run. You know, if we said today that we had nothing to play for, that we were safe, we would have taken that. But as it happened, you know, we wanted to win today. Of course we did, but it just looked like we had nothing to play for.
And Dave, obviously you joined mid-season. Is everything you sort of thought about this team coming out after that Frome game, is that coming true? And how would you assess your first sort of 6-7 months in
I think you know, playing against or managing a team to play against Exmouth, I always said, you know, when I come here, I always said on paper the team should be where it is at the bottom, but you can just see that they I don't know whether somebody's too comfortable. I think one of my first team talks I said everyone's too comfortable, and we sort of got out of that eventually. And it was just a bit of a tactical change. We got out of it, and the players showed that they got it in the locker. We've got some really good players here to win games and climb up the table. Just days like today, we think, you know, have we hit our ceiling? Because you start questioning things. When you lose, you start questioning things more. But as I said, pre-season's got to be totally different next year. You know, on our day we can beat anybody. So the aim next year has to be playoffs, but mentality's got to be completely different. But going back to my first 6 months, look, it's been a massive learning curve. This league is relentless, I'd say that. You know, every game you don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be, every game's a test. But this group's more than capable of doing it. But I think second year syndrome, maybe. We'll push on next year, won't we?
And Andy, the sponsors have been such a big help this year.
Yeah, you know, sponsors have been absolutely a massive factor to keep everything running, because it comes in at a cost. You know, the supporters have been fantastic. You know, we've been in it together. You know, and when we were struggling, you know, the supporters backed us as well. You know, they still came here and supported us. You know, so massive thank you to them as well.
And Dave, it's been, I've completely lost my train of thought there, but I'll just quickly go, favourite moment of this season for all three of you?
You go first.
Favourite moment? I'm going to go Bashley away. Second goal, winning that 2-1. That was the one where I thought, we can do this. We can get out of it. Going there on a Tuesday night. That was probably the time where I thought, yeah, we can do this. So yeah, that'll be mine.
Mine's definitely Larkle. Obviously, we went up there, and lost 5-0. It was a bad day, but to get them back here and then to turn them over 5-0, and absolutely dominate that game. It's one that we actually could sit back and relax a little bit and enjoy it.
Mine, I'll be honest, truth is when I found out we're safe. So the relief, the performances. Obviously, I expect that, and the lads are up. So for me,
1-0 defeat at Cribs.
Yeah, once I knew I'm safe, mate, it was a relief. You realise what I've been through.
We know.
We've been through, but to be fair, it was a relief. And like seeing where we were, 6 points on it, December, and then suddenly to get up and get out of it by 2 weeks to go. No one saw it coming. So, like I said, fair play to the lads. And like I said, we move on, and obviously the main thing is now we got a building job to do. Yes, we want to add to it as well, because otherwise it'll end up getting more performances like that. And you can see like Merce, Joe Belson coming in. We know spots in Bath, new lads. It just adds to generate spot, big competition in places, and we need that. So onwards and upwards.
Yeah, I remembered the question I was going to ask. When does that planning process start? Because obviously you've got Miles on Tuesday. When does that sort of?
So when
I think it's already started now. I think it's already started now. You spoke about pre-season, things you want to add into next season when we train, when we play. It's going to be a bit more professional, I'd probably say. It's a very great feeling here, but some things have got to change. Otherwise, you're going to have the same sort of results and same league position you're going to finish in, maybe the bottom half of the table, where we want to push on. We want to be in the playoffs around those positions, and things have got to change. So we've, recruitment will be, the drive for recruitment will be full on that. So carry on going through the summer.
And we're hoping for obviously Marshall first, but for next season more progression and hopefully
of course, that's what you want. You want to try and build each year on your where you finished the season before. For us last year, we had a great start, just got newly promoted, everyone's on the bandwagon, had a horrendous second half, carried it into pre-season. And that's what happens when the momentum drops off. It comes back next season. People missing pre-season, people going away, doing 2 weeks a week, people going away for months at the start of the season. It's hard. And that's football nowadays. That's football nowadays, isn't it? Same with that next year, but if people are willing and want to be here, and they show willing, and especially youngsters, and I like to give credit to Merce, to Bells, wants to step up and give it a go, and I've said they don't put it in, and I've said they carried us over the line.
Thank you.
Okay, Nate, so a bit of a mixed interview. There's always an entertaining with Hilly. Three, as we've said before, three very different personalities, but also very enjoyable to talk to. What were your thoughts on what the three of them had to say about the football, not thanking everybody, as we've just done for the last 10 minutes?
Well, look, I think it was clear we was coming off if we're all being honest, a poor performance against Bolton. It wasn't inspiring. It was quite flat. It probably wasn't what the players wanted. It wasn't clearly not what the staff wanted, because you heard in the interview that they weren't happy. But it was a shame really for that. But I think you can sense that there is going to be a bit of change over the summer, whether that be personnel or just in method. I think it's gonna get a bit tougher in this pre-season for the players, and I think that's a good thing. I think it's gonna, there may be some changes in personnel, but I think it's all hopeful, and those, you've seen an uptick in form that we'll probably touch on as well, and that is led from standards possibly increasing, and that sort of watchful eye of Dave and Hilly now getting having a bit less to do, and so I think generally we're trending upwards, and it's you can tell from the interview that there's a determination to progress the club and not just sort of have every season where we're scraping for survival. There needs to be progress. I know Dave said playoffs, but I think we would be, as long as we're not in trouble, in any relegation battle, I think that would be really a progressive season for us. And so, I think that's the vibe I get, is that it's okay. This season's done. It's not been a great season, but we've had a great ending, great escape, if you will. And then we now it's all about progressing upwards. And as I say, the planning's already started for next season, so that they'll be ready, and be interesting to see what side turns out on the first match there this season.
Yeah, I think Rolo's comments, which is something that we've all kind of said, that in January, February time, we would have given going into the last home game of the season safe with very little to play for at that time. So I think perspective and the fact that we have stayed up and the lads have gone through a brick wall to keep us up, as have Hilly and Rolo and Dave. So congratulations to them, because we did look at time, we were paddling up a creek without paddle.
Yeah.
So thank you, congratulations to them, because they really have. The last 10 games we've lost 2, 3.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah. So we've stayed up. They've gone above and beyond to keep us in this league when we did look dead and buried at some points. But obviously it's important that we do look to the future. Hilly, Dave and Rolo will definitely be already planning that. I think Dave knows what he expects, and he keeps getting the plaudits, but it obviously is a team effort.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that when me and Nathan rock up to do some media pre-season, that Dave probably has got like some sort of Gatling gun, making them like commando crawling the barbed wire or something like that, showering out them like grenades going off and stuff. We're of course joking, it won't be grenades. Be that blue pyrotechnic
No.
stuff. Be that blue pyro that they all had at Cribs.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think that this was hopefully the second season syndrome, as they've all addressed, in that next season things will be brighter. We've seen the players that have come in, their abilities and what they can offer the team. And we've seen some of the younger players come on leaps and bounds this season as well. And there are still a lot of players dual-regged around Devon that could probably come and figure in next season as well. So I think that next season is going to be different.
Yeah.
Good. And as long as we're not sat here in January clutching at straws with me and Nate, telling you people that brighter days around the corner, that's progress. Also, an FA Cup replay would be quite nice as well, just because we can have them and the Football League can't now.
we hopefully a nice FA Cup win would be good, you know, after sort of the last few years. But no, just I don't think we're that far off. You know, I think that's the key thing, especially in this last. We're not a million miles away from having a strong team in this league. I think this league's been very, very even, in a sense of, you know, a lot of the teams. If you look at the teams that are the lower part of the playoffs, they're not got that many points in theory of a team you'd think a team pushing for promotion. So it goes to show you the gap is not that big. One of those sides in the playoffs we beat 5-0, you know, so you can see the gap is not, albeit they did also beat us 5-0, but we won't mention that. The gap is there, you know, the gap isn't that big, and we've got a good side. You know, obviously every team needs additions, but you know, we're not too far off it, so I think it's important to be a bit hopeful. And I think they've shown us really why we should believe in them, and then why we should believe, especially since the new system. And you know, while the last 2 games haven't been the most inspiring, you know, the games before that were very good. So as long as we can find that sort of motivation, and if I peel back the curtain a little bit, currently are playing Mousel. If I look like I've gone on my phone, it's because I've just tweeted we've won the lot. So hopefully I've not cursed anything, touch wood. But you know, so it's you know, so if we can find that, you know, and go into a team like Mousel, regardless of what happens, win, lose or draw, that's a strong team in this division. They've got, you know, a big budget for the level that we believe, and they've, you know, got players on loan from Exeter. And if we can stand with them, toe to toe with them, then it tells you all you need to know. And I think, you know, really we've stood toe to toe with a lot of teams in this division. We'll maybe touch on the past games through, and we should have beat Wimborne. We have beaten this season, albeit in the trophy. And they're the best teams in the league, and clearly the best teams. So we're not a million miles away. Cribs as well, we stood toe to toe with, and we probably should have got more than 0 points against them this season. So we're not too far off it, and I'm excited to see what we do in the summer to bring in some new players and you know, hopefully join what is an already decent squad and keep progressing.
We were a wonder save away from taking the lead. Where Tom Bath hit the bar was a save. Steerer had a great chance against Cribs. I would have put my mortgage on him, a month's wages for him to put that away. He normally 9 times out of 10 would, so we'll let him have the one blip, because we were safe by that point. So it is fine margins, and beginning of the season, those fine margins weren't going for us. They did. The second part of the season, Willand came and took the lead, and we then ran the show for the entire game, basically. No disrespect to Willand. And we've looked a different side, so it is the same personnel, but it's a different mentality and a different change around, I think, and they'll come back bigger and stronger next season with additions, as we will as a club. We're still here, we're still at step 4, we're still fighting, we're still little old Exmouth. We go again. I'm sure pre-season is going to be an absolute chaos as always. We don't know anything about preseason. We haven't got any preseason fixtures. We don't know any signings. We don't know any budgets. No, we don't get shared any of that stuff. So we understand supporters asking us and messaging on the socials and stuff. Once me and Nate are given information that we can pass on to you guys, you will be the first people to know, because we don't want we get excited when we're given information to tell you guys. I know that's as sad as it sounds. We want you guys to be as excited as we are. So as soon as we get information and we can release it to you guys, we tell you as quickly as possible. I think that kind of is everything for this season. There's been some lows, there's been some highs, there's been some incredibly funny moments. Rolo, that equaliser, that wasn't an equaliser against Westbury.
Yeah.
Still got the footage of my friend. That's going to be on the end of season video. There is an end of season video coming out. Please bear with me. I've got me and Nathan do media outside of town. Basketball playoffs are currently finishing this weekend, so before the summer there will be an end of season video coming out, I promise. I've got all the stuff lined up, I just need to put it together. So Nath, what was your highlight of the season, or highlights of the season, I suppose?
Yeah, I think for me the best one was Bemerton away. It was really good. I mean, I've never seen the crowd in any game at this level that I've seen through, not just at Exmouth before that. I've not seen an atmosphere that good, especially created by away fans, and it was just incredible. I think even some of the Bemerton fans were drawn in and they wanted to join us, especially cheering for Chris Wright and the Exmouth Town chant as well. So that was a really good day, and it was a game probably similar to a few that we've had this season where we've won where we weren't particularly up in the first half. We weren't great, and you're thinking, oh no, this is, they could nick this here. But then second half we steamrolled them, and we looked like the team that was, I mean, Bemerton has sort of done what we did last season, but we looked like the team that were sort of a bit more comfortably up the table, and we were absolutely excellent that day. And just again, the being able to capture the fans, that making that amount of noise, and it was just, that was my favourite by far. I think, a special mention to the Larkle game at home, because that felt, almost relief, from that game. That was a real special game as well, to see us just absolutely return the favour and have take our chances and everything like that. It was a really great day. What about yourself?
So there's two. I think the Wimborne game in the cup, where we came from 3-0 down, does feel like a lifetime ago, but that you could feel that the lads kind of, it was there. They just kind of lost their way a little bit a few weeks as we went along. So that the penalty show and everything that went with that, I thought was a great day. Feels like a lifetime ago now. And then
I forgot. Yeah, that was a great day.
And then Ace's third against Willand, where that was the point where I thought we're going to be safe here. I think that's the point where I was confident we were going to step to the point where I was dead fast that we were going to do it, because they turned that game around completely on its head in the space of one half of football. So that, on a personal level as well, my dad wasn't very well after Christmas. Everything's fine, like there's nothing to worry about. But him being in a hospital bed, and his first words to me when I saw him were, what was the town score? And this is a man who's not from Exmouth, hasn't come to a lot of our games. Just for him to say, what was the town score, was heartwarming as well. So you've kind of touched my family's hearts as well, all you guys. So thank you for everything you've done this season as well for me personally. That's enough of the mushy stuff. I've got two apologies to make. Shanks, I'm very sorry for saying you were old. Didn't mean it. You're not old. You're just older. And I know who was. Oh yeah, Stero. I'm very sorry that you don't want to be stuck on a desert island with me. It's fine. I'm not taking it personally. I think that was everything. I don't think there's anything else I've got to dig my way out of before pre-season.
No, not yet. No.
We're going to do a few more of these over the summer. We've got the video coming out with the highlights. We're going to hopefully talk to Hilly, Rolo, Dave as we head into pre-season or during pre-season to kind of get an idea what's going on. Going to try and catch up with Stuart at some point. He's obviously incredibly busy with the club and his business, so we'll try and grab him at some point. We're going to talk to hopefully some of the MTC as we go into the season, and then we're also going to try and speak to some of our media colleagues at other clubs as we head into the season to find out what's going on there, what's the best pubs to go to for the away days, the food, everything to do with the away days. So we'll probably line up Tavi, Westbury, I think we kind of take over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll maybe even try and get some of our Devon colleagues as well for the Devon Bowl and stuff to come on. So we'll do get those out at some point. That's everything for the season. Nate, have you got anything else to add?
No. Thank you to everyone for showing love on here. I know we're back to the thank yous, but we really appreciate it. You know, we said it. I think we said it on the last one, but the people that have come up to us in person and the people that have written nice comments online, it's been really good. And look, we'll keep trying to level up the media coverage here. It's us too, so you know we're limited in numbers, but we're going to always try our best and make sure that we can keep upgrading, keep like the club, keep progressing, and better everything here. So thank you for everything. Thank you for being so good to us, and we hope that we can continue to be good to you.
Yeah, it's nice to we do our media, other sports to try and make careers out of them. We do this because we genuinely love the club, and it's not a chore. We even when we've got in the car after we've lost and we're like a couple 100 miles away, it's never a chore. We do have this joke that if we win, we have Mackey's. If we lose, we have Burger King. So this season we have eaten a lot of Burger King. So next season, I want me some McPlants, please. Thank you for everybody at the club. We shall see you pre-season. We'll probably see you about some of the events. Keep commenting on the Twitter and the socials because you do genuinely make us laugh. Some things people say. Cookie, if you could do some more DJing as well, some of those videos, that would be great because that genuinely means stitches. Up the town, we shall see you all in pre-season. Have a great summer. Take care. The bright days are here. Don't worry. What are we going to do with our Saturdays now? We haven't got football. We'll talk about that another time. Thank you for everything. We'll catch you again. Take care. Up the town.